I want to talk about Afghanistan. In Islam, it's the same as Christianity. Today, we see much more variation in the forms of acceptance and peace, and then groups who have decided that the way to impose Islam or carry it out is very violent, right? And mind you, there are many Christian extremists in the world today. And like the Lord's Army in the Democratic Republic of Congo is responsible for about 500,000 deaths. And these are Christians, right? But we're just in a period of time when Islam has just gotten really stirred up. And so we just see like this random violence and terrorism and that's coming out of the Muslim community. And it's really a pretty recent thing. If you study Christianity, you don't have to go back very far to see the violence that was committed by Christians. The Crusades in which millions and millions and millions of people died. Nazi Germany, the Nazis were all Christians. Like they weren't Christians. You can't be a Christian and go kill 11 million people. But Nazis worshipped in Christian churches. They were all Christians. The people that killed 6 million Jews and 5 million other people in the middle part of the 20th century were all Christians. Now again, they weren't really Christians because you can't be a Christian and commit heinous acts like that. I mean, that for me, like if you say, are you Muslim? Yeah. So if you say you're Muslim and you're like, yeah, and I'm going to go out and commit jihad and I'm going to set some bombs or something somewhere. I'm like, dude, well, hang on. The moment you say that, you're no longer Christian or Muslim. So like, you can't call yourself Muslim there. So the same thing would be true with the Nazis. They're all Christians. But nobody today says, oh my God, I can't be, the horrible Christians. They killed so many millions of people. It's estimated that Christians killed in the 20th century, Christians killed about 100 million people between World War I, World War II, Korean, on and on and on. Okay? 100 million people. But nobody says, I can't be a Christian because I killed that many people. Well, today, you can't look at individual Muslims and say, Muslims are bad. You can say to any individual Muslim, like, well, that Muslim's clearly not a Muslim and clearly is a really bad person because they're using violence to get across some idea. It's like, you can't do that. There's nothing Muslim about that. Well, there's nothing Christian about the things that Christians do to commit these heinous actions. But today, it's easier because of where we stand here in the United States to look at Muslims who we know very little about and have this idea that there's something really narrow about the Muslim community. And then we look at something like this, like these Taliban, troglodytes. It's someone who lives in a cave, basically. And it's like these. So what you have are these men in this region of Afghanistan and Pakistan and so on, most of whom are illiterate, most of whom couldn't even read the Quran because they are illiterate. They've never read the Quran. They have no idea what it says and how it says. And so somebody tells them, and then they join this militia group and they move on and they start doing all sorts of things. It's very similar to people who believe that the election was stolen from Donald Trump when not a single person who studies elections in the United States, who studies them carefully. And it's like, like for 40 years, I've been carefully studying and thinking about all these issues that I talk about in here. So imagine I spent 40 years studying election fraud in the United States, and that's all I study. And I had to get together with all my friends who study this, and we're like checking it all over the country, and we're watching it, and we're assessing things, and we say, the degree to which there was fraud benefited Republicans, half of it benefited Democrats. It's just individuals. It's like, okay. But now you got these people who know nothing about it, but all they did was get on their phone and they looked at some video of somebody talking about something and go, oh, shit. yeah, look at that. They're carrying election ballots out of the election place in Tucson, Arizona. That's what that is, because that's what they just told me. It's like, oh, there's election fraud. And then we're pretty soon on January 6th in 2021, I'm crashing into the Capitol building. Based on what? Based on what? Nothing, because I don't know shit. Because I don't study it, I don't pay attention to it, I know nothing at all. And now I'm talking about some of your fathers, your uncles, your grandfathers, your mothers, whoever it is, right? I know nothing. Well, that's how these troglodyte Taliban are. They don't know anything about the Quran, but they've just decided that, hey, women can no longer dress like this, which is how women in Afghanistan were dressing in 1972. That they come into power in around 1995, and now women have to wear the burqa. If they leave their house, they got to dress like this. And they can't go out without men, because we, the Taliban, have decided that we understand, we interpret the Quran. And the Quran says something about wearing veils, if you want to know. But it's kind of like what the Bible says about wearing veils and being covered. It's like, doesn't say much. So these men decide, okay, women are going to dress like this. And they have the guns, and they have the power. So that's what happens. And then we say, because we don't know, and we say, oh, look at those Muslims. Those people are nuts. Can you go to the next slide? Here are the Taliban. This is them in the president's office on the day that they took over the Capitol in Kabul. My friend who I spoke with on that day watched these photos and these videos, my Afghan friend, and he cried. Again, they're illiterate, most of them. They don't know anything. But they're illiterate in the same way that most of the Americans who think there was election fraud are illiterate, meaning they know nothing about the data. You might be able to read websites, but you know nothing about the data. You really have no idea. They have no idea what's going on. These guys have no idea what the Quran says. So this is from the New Testament. It's disgraceful for a wife to cut off her hair and shave her head. Let her cover her head. These are Christian women. I'm looking at all you Christian women in here. For a man ought not cover his head, since he is the image and glory of God, but woman is the glory of man. I love this, right? Taking sides, baby. Men. Plain favorites. Whoever wrote that was not a woman. Got it? So how do you interpret that? Men. So now imagine that you got a group of men. The United States goes over the edge and we become this really radical Christian society, which very easily could happen. Okay? And now with the radical Christianity, because there are a lot of Christians in this country that would like to impose a radical version of Christian Shia law on the United States. And they're going to decide, okay, what does this mean? Well, what's it mean? Well, I might be one of those radical dudes. And what it means is every single woman, everywhere she goes, has to have her hair covered. Well, that's what these radical Taliban are saying. Well, that's what radical Christians would say. The same thing. You see how it is? You see how, like, if you really want to understand what's going on, you got to look in a mirror and see yourself. So we could argue a long time about this. And go to the next slide. One final thing is, I just saw this today. Banning books. These are all Christians banning books because they've decided, hey, our good Christian children in a good Christian society shouldn't be reading books like this. Well, next it'll be covering your hair. And next it'll be something else. And next it'll be every good Christian has to wear a gun on their side. So they can, pow, pow, shoot up all the bad sinners. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is Maryam. And what I want to tell you, Maryam's from Afghanistan. And, you better fix that up. Come on, you're on camera.
Hello, how are you? I hope everyone is doing great. This is Maryam from Afghanistan. I just moved to State College 1 month now. And I just moved from Afghanistan 2 months ago. I have been 1 month in Pakistan. So I'm very happy and delighted that today I'm here and I'm talking to this class. Wow. Oh my God.
I want to tell you a couple things about Maryam. and then I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Okay? Maryam, in this video that you watched, remember the prison where she went in? She was looking for this young woman named Maryam in the prison in the video. Right? Remember that scene? And the family asked her to find this young woman named Maryam. And if you haven't watched it, you're going to watch it. And so that's in Herat. Maryam is from Herat. So the young woman who was thrown in prison for evil behavior or sinful behavior would be you. Because Maryam here was a women's activist. And so at one point, the Taliban threatened her. And we were able to get her she was able to get out of Afghanistan. And she had to go to Pakistan, which is very dangerous to go to Pakistan by herself. Got a visa and is now in graduate school here at Penn State University. And luckily got out. Like, how was it to be you so you just graduated college.
Yeah.
You're a women's activist. Like, you're you, man. They already got your energy, right? And then you got these men coming saying you can't leave your house. How was that?
Actually, the day that our country fell to devil Taliban, and it was scary. I was thinking about that, how fast we just lost our everything. When I'm thinking everything, for me as a woman means everything. On that a day or at evening, I was thinking that how in a second we just went to 20 years back.
Yeah.
20 years back, I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. I am not remembering anything exactly. But I heard that sometimes my moms, my dads were telling me that, when it was Taliban period, they weren't able to go out. My mom was telling me when it was Taliban period, she wasn't able to go out alone. She always...
Wait, hang on. She couldn't leave the house alone.
Yep.
Without your dad or another
with
male
a male
relative.
partner, yeah. She was talking about that, and she was telling me that, I wasn't able to study. My mom is also illiterate. She couldn't study because she was living in Afghanistan and she doesn't have an opportunity to study.
So let's be really clear here, right? These men, the first time they came into power, this is the second time. This was just last August.
Yeah.
A year ago, August. The first time they came into power, they swept in. They decided, hey, we even though most of us are illiterate and we can't read it, but we're going to believe the 1 or 2 or 5 people who says, this is how we should run society. Women, stay in the house. You're not allowed to leave unless you're with a male relative. Women can't go to school. Girls can't go to school. Only boys can go to school. You can't have music. You can't have television. You can't have all sorts of things. Kites, for some reason. Fucking kites. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your parents are telling you, oh, here they come again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were telling me that, I was thinking with myself, oh my God, what will happen to me, to my future, specifically for me and my younger sister. It was all okay with boys because still they just have the opportunity to go whatever they want, but it was totally different for girls. So I was kind of not an activist that were doing so much activities, but I never missed any single opportunity to work for women and youth in Afghanistan. And I was thinking about that, what will happen if I do nothing and stay home forever. And it happened actually. It happened when it passed for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I was only at home. I was kind of person that, and I'm still am. I'm kind of person that I cannot stay at home a single day and doing nothing. And I was I was only breathing. I wasn't living the life on that.
Women and men, for your mothers, your grandmothers, your sisters, your girlfriends, okay? Imagine tomorrow you can't leave the house. You're in. And for the foreseeable future, you're not going out. Unless you're with a man. And even then, it can be dangerous. So you're not going out by yourself. So just hold that for a second. Right? Just hold that. So what I'm hearing from you is like that moment, that realization, that oh shit realization. Like, what is my life going to be? Mm-hmm. Youth, who's this like ball of energy, right? What is my life?
Yeah.
So did you go into a depression?
Yep. I went to a very a deep and dangerous depression. I'm kind of person that I'm always smiling. And no one can believe that, Maryam, you got depression. It's unbelievable. Even I myself couldn't believe that, oh my God, it's me. It is Maryam that is staying at home all the day, doing nothing. And still for me, it was good because I was graduated from university. I was graduated from school. I kind of could handle everything that, I just can keep myself busy with doing some online programs or something. What I was thinking and made me oh my God, it is trouble that about thinking about my younger sister and all her girls that is in her age. Secondary school is totally off for all Afghan girls now. Those who are graduated from 6th grade up to the 12th grade, they are not allowed to go to school from the day that this crazy men entered to the country. I was thinking about that, I can handle, I'm able to handle my mood, but those teenager girls who are not able to just go out, they are not allowed to go to school, what will happen to them? And we are living this now. At the moment that I'm talking about this, at the moment it is more than 1 year that schools are off and girls cannot go to school. Boys can go to school, but girls cannot go to school. Imagine that what's happening. It is not for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or a week, or a month. It is gonna be forever. It is 1 year past, but still no girls can go to school.
So it's forever unless we somehow get these people out of power.
Yep.
And the first time what happened was, because of 9/11 in the United States, the U.S. invaded Afghanistan and we kicked these guys out of power the first time. Then we spent 20 years battling them so they wouldn't come back into power. And in the end, we just kind of threw our hands up in the air and said, we can't do this anymore. And then here they are once again, right? And this is such an extreme version of Islam. Like this book right here, you have to be illiterate. And you have to be maniacal to impose the ideas that they impose on a society. But this is not Islam. This is a very tiny sect. Just like in Christianity, there are really, really tiny sects of people who would do this, who would be perfectly fine doing this.
Yep.
Right? And every religion can find it. This happens to be the manifestation in Afghanistan.
Yep, exactly the word that you said, extremism Islam. It is the thing that I was thinking with myself, and I'm still thinking that Islam is not what these people are doing and what these people are acting. It is an extreme Islam, and I'm I don't accept this. I'm a Muslim girl. I accept this, and it is totally my own right or own my choice if I wear this scarf or no. Before a Muslim girl, I'm a human, and every human being should have the right to choose her own lifestyle, her her well-being or anything. So these people are forcing girls that as a girl, as a woman, you should. They force women.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have for fear of punishment. Like women are thrown in prison.
Yeah,
So let me ask you a question. What the reason I had you put I borrowed the hat from this guy is because so you came to Penn State.
Yeah.
You know, you wear a scarf here and there, and then recently I've been seeing you in a hat a lot. So like it's cool. You look great in a hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that? Like how?
Yeah, it's my choice.
Yeah.
I like it, and I like it too. Here in Penn State, in the United States, in anywhere in the world, I am free to do whatever what I want. I am free to wear this, or I am free like to. I have the right to put on this only. It's my own choice. I feel pretty good when I wear my scarf.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. But when I was in Afghanistan, I was forced to wear a long veil, a long hijab, and I dislike this long, hijab, long veil. What I should wear is something that I don't like.
Listen, so wait, so before, when you left for Pakistan, and the reason she had to go to Pakistan was because it's the only place where she could get a visa, or where she could have an interview with the U.S. consulate. Were you wearing a long gown? You had to wear that when you went out?
Yeah. When I left, the day that I left Herat, I had a long black veil.
Whoa.
When I was in Afghanistan, in the airport from Herat to Kabul. And the other thing that made me feel so worried about that, I was alone. My brother, my father wasn't with me. And just, I was thinking about what will happen to me if one of Taliban forces stop me and ask me, where is your male partner? That is why I just managed to talk to some of families there, in case if anyone asks you with whom you are, just please tell them that, she is our girl. But fortunately, when I left the country, there was no case. Fortunately, I was lucky, and here I just had a very chit-chat talk on my WhatsApp with my auntie, who is studying in Afghanistan in university. University are not off, but they are in a very bad situation that the Taliban forces who are controlling who is entering the university check who is entering the university and what the lady is wearing. My aunt just sent this photo to me. She just asked me, how are you? How is it everything going in United States? Did you found yourself pretty?
So this is what you'd be wearing right now.
You
would be if you were there.
Yep. Yeah.
Damn.
I was just. She just sent this text, this picture to me that it is me. It is me that we should wear this when we enter to entering the university, and they are controlling the ladies when they are students, female students when they are entered to the university. And I was feeling, how can you tolerate? Then for a second I was thinking with myself, just 2 months back, I was one of them. I wasn't able to choose what should I wear. This style is not acceptable in Afghanistan. It is not acceptable now in Afghanistan. That Taliban just will definitely stop me, and they will not talk to me directly. They will not talk to me directly.
They won't talk to you.
They will talk to my family, to my dad. They will talk to my dad. She's your girl. She doesn't know what to wear. It is pretty common issue in Afghanistan that when they a problem, they will definitely talk to a man or some male in the family and just talking to them that guide her or something like that.